Picture 16-year-old me, sat in maths class. We're talking about algebra or simultaneous equations. I'm trying to figure out how to do this. The teacher's at the front of the class, teaching the entire class. Everyone's engaged. And I'm sat there thinking about the best strategy to push on Coastline on Siege, on Rainbow Six Siege video game. And I'm thinking about this, and I'm zoning out, and I suddenly, come to attention, and the teacher's, saying, are you awake? You with us? And, all the boys laugh, because I'm just sat there like, what? Out of it. And this happens 50, maybe 60 times an hour. I just zone out and go back to thinking about, would it be better to use the angled grip or the vertical grip, Should I use ACOG or 1.5 times? All of these different questions swirling around my head when I should be learning about Pythagoras theorem or something. And then class is finally over. It's the end of the day. I cycle home, and the first thing I do when I get in is boot up my PlayStation, turn on Rainbow Six Siege, and do all the things that I was thinking about during the day. And that would be about 4 o'clock. I would do that, maybe 3:30. And I would not stop playing until about 2 o'clock in the morning. So, I would normally play for about 8 to 10 hours. And then I would get off the PlayStation, turn off Siege, think, that was a productive session. I leveled up once, got some renown. And then I would go and lie in bed and think, alright, it's time to sleep. And I would grab my phone and I would watch YouTube for another 3 hours. And then it gets to like 4 o'clock in the morning and I finally pass out from exhaustion after staring at blue light for the past 12, 13 hours, keeping me awake. And then I would wake up 2, 3 hours later, get ready for school, and that's it. That was my day. Until I finally broke the cycle and managed to quit playing video games altogether. In today's video, I'll tell you exactly how I did that. First off, let's outline why you should even quit video games, Oh, video games are good. They make your mind work, and they make your brain function, puzzle games, they're really good for your brain. The first negative of playing video games is it drains your motivation and it kills your drive for all of the tasks in life. Think about it like you have a bar of motivation, You start off at the beginning of the day with 100 motivation, and then if you go to the gym, that'll drain like 20 motivation points, maybe 30. Getting yourself to, going to school may drain like another 20 points of motivation, so we're down to about 50. And then you come home, and then playing video games for 6 hours would drain the other 50. It drain the rest of your motivation points. And so, you're not going to go and read before bed or do any schoolwork or homework or do anything productive. You're not going to meditate. Why would you need to do that? Your brain's still racing from when you pushed the south window and flanked the gridlock. But yeah, it just drains your motivation and your drive, It makes you completely undisciplined because it's easy, instant gratification. It's just, instant dopamine. You get like instant hits of dopamine the second you boot up the game. You can't wait to get home to play. You know the funny thing? Second point is, you actually don't even find it fun anymore. Like, the amount of times I would boot up my PlayStation and just sit there on the home screen talking to one of my mates. And we wouldn't even be playing anything because we were just so bored of all the games that we had. You do not even find it fun, but you still do it. It just makes no sense, does it? You know, you wouldn't go and play like football if you didn't find it fun anymore. So, why do we still play video games? What's going to actually happen when you quit video games? It's the topic I will tell you about now. I believe that there's a few negatives. There are a few downsides to quitting video games, but there are also a few positives, and the positives far outweigh the negatives. Like, it's incomprehensible how like small the negatives are. There's actually just one, and that's that you're gonna lose your online friends. That's it. Those friends that you made online, you're not going to speak to them as much. You're not going to be as social with them. If they're friends from school or you know them in real life, you may still hang out with them, but chances are you won't as much, unless you were friends before you played games. But if you made these friends and like met these people through the video games, you don't actually have that much in common. You know, you just play these games together. Like, why would you stay friends with someone if you only do bad habits with someone? If you only hang out with someone when your life is getting worse, why would you keep them around? And why would you still like engage with them? You know? And this is going to lead to you being less social in the short term. For a few days, maybe a few weeks, you're going to be less social. You're going to be a bit of an outcast, and these people may talk about you. You know, when you stop playing video games, they will talk and they will say, "Oh yeah, I can't believe you did that." You know, you didn't even talk to us anymore. They will say these things about you, but why should you care? They're just going to sit there for the rest of their life playing 8 hours of video games a day. You spend a third of your day sleeping, a third of it in school, and a third of it playing video games. How are you going to spend the last third of your day that you actually have to yourself like that? You know what? It's good. It's good that you're losing these friends, because you aren't even like them. If you're 8 minutes and 30 seconds into a video like this, you do not need to be hanging around with those people. You are not like them. You have nothing in common with them. You'd be better off without them. And quite frankly, they'd probably be better off without you, because they don't want to hear you try and convince them to, hop on self-improvement, because unless someone wants to help themselves, you can't help them. So you should stop preaching to them and stop telling them to try and improve their lives. And they need to be out of your life for your sake. This is only for your benefit. You don't need them. Alright, let's go on to the positives of what's going to happen if you do quit. You're going to have, I used to play like 8 hours a day. You're going to have a lot more time for your productive habits, whether it be reading books, meditating, journaling, any of these things. You're going to have more time for them, You want to start a new hobby, new business. How are you going to do that? You don't have the time. Because you'll sit there and you'll play a minimum of 5 hours a day on video games. But you'll say, "Oh no, I only play an hour a day of video games." But you don't play an hour a day. You do not play an hour a day of video games. It takes you 10 minutes to get into a game. You do not play an hour a day of video games. Anyone who says that is lying to themselves and to you. and to me. You know, if you've just said, oh no, I do play an hour. No, you don't. It's just about where you spend your time. Like, think of time like money. Would you spend your time, you know, playing these video games? Would you invest your time in that? It makes no sense to invest your time in something that honestly has no effect on the real world at all. And people will cope and they'll say, oh no, but you know, the esports players, you know, that they make thousands, you know, streamers, they make millions. Are you a streamer? Do you make millions? Are you a professional esports player? No, you're not. You have not made any money from playing these games. So why do you keep coping and saying that, oh no, it can be a business model? No, it can't. Do you know how many people make it as professional esports players? Because I don't, because the number's that small. Another positive of quitting video games is you will get like so much better sleep. It's insane. The sleep that you will get when you first quit, it'll be the best sleep you ever have. I swear to God. You quit video games for a week and tell me that your sleep does not improve, and you will be lying. Because the blue lights, that's why like people have like, I've got them here next to me. I've got blue light glasses just to block out the blue light from my screen. And I turn my screen off 2 hours before I go to sleep, my PC screen. So, yeah, because the blue lights, they're the signal to like keep you awake. If you think about it in like the hunter-gatherer days, when the sun goes down, there won't be any more light. You know, of course there won't. There won't be any more like. Obviously, the sun isn't blue; it's not shooting off blue rays, but there's still blue light being cast off of things. So, as soon as the sun goes down, there is no blue light. That's it. And your brain knows that as soon as the sun goes down, a few hours after, you're going to sleep. And so, these people, they're, you know, the gamers, maybe you're turning your PlayStation off or your Xbox or whatever, it does not matter. You're turning your game off and you're getting into bed. But what your monkey brain, because our monkey brains evolved for over like millions of years. They're not going to evolve to see video games and screens, you know? They don't know the difference between the screen and the sun. So all they know is, oh, the sun's just gone out. All right, let's wind down. You know, in a few hours, we'll be able to go to sleep. So that's why you can't go straight to sleep after having a screen on. Because your brain thinks it's the sun. Because of course it does, because it's light. You know? Your brain isn't going to evolve in the past 20 years since video games were invented. Your brain is primal. And another thing another positive of quitting is you'll have increased energy levels. This is kind of a side effect of the sleep because you'll get longer, better, deeper sleep. But it's also just like a positive of having increased motivation and drive, like we talked about before. You'll just feel so much better, honestly. Like, you don't realize how bad you feel because you've been playing video games for the past 6 years, you know. I had a PS2 when I was 8, and I've been playing video games since. I've been playing video games for 9 years. And when I quit, I was like, what is going on? Why do I feel like I was going into the gym. Like, I wake up, go straight to the gym. And you know how you sit there, you take a 3 minute rest break, you still feel tired when you go back for that next set on bench press, You take a little bit longer on your rest when you shouldn't, you go on your phone. Bro, I was getting off my set and I was ready to go straight back down. It's crazy the boost that you get just from getting not just better sleep, but from being able to put all your energy into something productive instead of putting your energy into, playing games. Just try it, man. 7 days, and you may want to go back. I have felt like, but it's crazy. I've dreamed about playing video games. Like, it's so strange, but I won't go back. I will not like sit down and like pick up the controller and just think, oh, I'm just gonna play an hour. I'm just gonna play an hour. I will not pick up the controller. But you probably will. You definitely will. If you quit video games, you will definitely feel the urge to play them again. But you've just got to think, do I want to invest my time in this? I gave away my PlayStation. A few days after I quit, I was like, I'm not going to use it anymore. Do you want this PS5? And they're like, yeah, free PS5, And now all I've got is my PC on my right and my phone, and that's it. Now that's all the bad, the bads, the goods. But how you actually gonna quit video games? Because it's not as simple as just, grabbing the controller, putting it in the drawer, and not picking it up again. Because as soon as you come home, or as soon as you feel a little bit unhappy with your life, you'll pick it straight back up and go back on it. And I think that giving away the game is an extremely powerful way. It's like a very big act. And that's the best way to start off, like, getting rid of a bad habit. It's just a big act. But I also believe that telling people that you don't do the bad habit is extremely powerful. It's one of the most powerful things. It's the way I was able to quit drinking alcohol. I haven't drunk alcohol for half a year. I never had a big issue with it, but I just decided, I was doing research, and very bad for you. Who would have guessed? But telling people that you don't do this bad habit anymore, it doesn't just tell other people, it tells your brain. Instead of thinking, oh, I'm quitting video games. No, you don't play video games. You do not play video games. It's literally any bad habit, you do not do it anymore. You change your entire identity. Not, oh, I'm trying to stop fapping. I'm trying to stop watching porn. You do not watch porn. You do not touch your meat. You do not play video games. You're not trying to quit video games. You do not play video games. And you make sure you tell people that. Because it's not just to change your brain, because that is the most powerful part of it. It's also accountability. Like, if I went downstairs and had a drink right now, or I asked that person for my PlayStation back, they'd frown, Same if I went downstairs and had a drink, and they'd be like, thought you didn't play video games. Thought you didn't drink. And they will hold you accountable, and you will feel guilty. You will feel guilty for doing the bad habit. But that guilt is good, because you won't do it again. As soon as someone calls you out on it, you will not do it again. Trust me on that. But there's a lot of other ways, and I think one of the best ways that's not to do with other people is just by replacing video games with another habit. Going to the gym. And I know there's quite a few people out there who already go to the gym, and for you, it'll be quite easy quitting video games, because that's what it was like for me. I quit video games, and I just found myself going harder in the gym. I found myself in there for longer, going earlier, and I went harder. And my numbers, I was kind of growing a bit, but as soon as I quit video games, shot up. Because you're just not wasting your energy and time and brain power anymore. Think about, it's the same as a video game, really, going to the gym. Because you train and you train and you use the lower weights, you kill the slimes at the start of the game. That's the same as curling fives or, bench pressing just the bar. It's the same as in the first level when you're killing the slimes or, going around killing cows for the XP. You train and you level up, You level up your endurance, your stamina, same as you would in a video game. You level up your strength. Your explosiveness, your power. It's the exact same as a video game. You can think of the 1 rep max as the final boss. And then when you do your 1 rep max, then you play New Game Plus. And you have to, the weights are a lot higher and the enemies are a lot harder. But you're still going and going and going and training until you get to the final boss again, and you try your 1 rep max again, and then you may fail. You fail your 1 rep max, or you fail to kill the final boss. So you level up a little bit more, you get a little bit stronger, and then you try the 1 rep max again, and you get it. And you play New Game Plus again, and again, and again. It's the exact same. It's just instead of leveling up in a virtual world full of pixels and incels, and people who don't leave their sweaty gaming chairs for hours, you sit there on the bench and you think, how much more productive are you being? They're sat there building their character. They finally got to level 200. They finally got their strength to level, 67. Yes, let's go. But you've just bench pressed 67 for 15 reps. You're skinny fat and you're finally losing the weight. You're starting to see abs. But their character's just gone and leveled up their stamina. But you can now run 1.5 miles in under 10 minutes. Do you see who is progressing more here? And the final way that the gym is the exact same as video games is the sense of camaraderie or brotherhood. If you go to the gym with your friends, you will build a bond that is so much stronger than if you went out every day. You go to the gym with your friends twice a week, you sweat together, you watch each other hit PRs, fail PRs, and you'll be so much closer with these people than if you went outside and you partied and did drugs every day. And it's the same as a video game. Like I said, Rainbow Six Siege, that was my game. And I used to play with a few of my mates. And, we had that feeling of a team, we were a squad. Yes, yes, you push there, I'll push there, we were working together, we had teamwork. But it's the exact same as the gym. Your mate's struggling with his last rep, you and your boys have stood around, come on, you got this, you're encouraging each other, pushing each other harder, watching each other reach new limits. Exact same as you would in a game. And it's beautiful. But yeah. Go on Google Maps and type in gyms. This is an actionable step. If you've got this far in the video, 25 minutes in, and you don't do this, then you will probably never quit. Go on your phone, type in gyms near you, and it will come up with a few. Find the cheapest one. Doesn't matter, does not matter what the gym is like. As long as there's weights, just get in there and strength train. Honestly, just find the nearest gym. Just Go there tomorrow or today, whenever you're watching this. If you're watching this at 2 o'clock in the morning, bro, go to sleep. But yeah, this is the best thing you could ever do, because it's the best thing I ever did, and it builds discipline, so you don't give in to the urges whenever you have the sweet tooth, or playing video, when you want to sit down and grab the controller or get the remote and watch some Netflix show. And that is how you quit video games forever. Have a good day and a great week.